Well, I just want to welcome you to our Seward Memorial Library Zoom program. This one is entitled My Own Town with Tubes. So we're going to have a lot of fun making it. Whenever I begin a program, I always like to welcome the children to the program. Well, I can't see you, but I know that some of you will be right here as we work with this program. So I just want to kind of sing a little welcome song with you. And I've chosen two names of two little girls that are my granddaughters. And the song would go like this. Miley's here, Miley's here, Miley's here today. Yay, Miley. And she has a sister, Mia. Mia's here, Mia's here, Mia's here today. Yay, Mia. Now you can put your name in. Maybe your name is Michael. Michael's here, Michael's here, Michael's here today. Yay, Michael. Or maybe we have a little girl that could be named Natalie. Natalie's here, Natalie's here, Natalie's here today. Yay, Natalie. Well, we're so happy that you are here with us, and we are going to make our own little town, each one of you. We need some supplies, and I can show you what you really could use for this. You need kind of a box like this where your town would be built on. Towns have to be built. Then on the bottom of this, we have green paper with the green grass. Grows all around, doesn't it? The green grass grows all around, all around. Then we will need streets. We need streets in order to build our houses around the streets. So the streets can be made of rectangles, black rectangles. Start out with 3 of them. Then those streets have to be divided so that traffic knows which way to go. And you can put yellow lines to divide your streets, cars coming one way and going the other way. Then, once we have our streets all taken care of course, we want to have some houses, and those would be made with the tubes. Maybe you want to start out with 2 tubes, and these are really very easy for mommy to save for you, or daddy, or grandma, or grandpa. And I have 2 to start out, actually 3. So then, after that, we're going to cover the tube with some construction paper. I have 2 sheets of blue ones. And then I have a white sheet to make the 3rd one, which is going to be a special building. And I'll explain that. Because towns, you can't just have houses. You have to have other things. Oh, what would you think of? Do you need a school in your town? Yes. How about a library? Yes, I hope you come to our library here in Seward. So we're going to make a special building with this. Then, of course, need the roofs on the houses. Yes, keep the snow out now. Pretty soon we're going to have snow here in Seward. So roofs can be made of these kind of squares. And, of course, we need other things to help us too, like scissors. Mommy could have a scissors for you. This is a bigger one. So with children, we want you to have smaller scissors so no one gets hurt. Need some kind of a black marker. I just have these black Sharpies to draw windows on houses. Yes. You should have some kind of glue, maybe stick glue like this is good for projects. Also, Scotch tape comes in very handy for our projects too. So those are our supplies to make our town. Now this is kind of the way my town looks right now. I'm going to hold it up. Aha, look at that. You're going to make houses that are tall houses. You maybe even might think they're apartments because they're so tall. And I made a school for the children to go to school. Well, you know, as you're working on your town, you can think, I wonder what I would like to name my town. Because we live right here in Seward, you need a town name. One little boy said, I think it'll just be a neighborhood. And I thought that was really pretty neat. He wants to just call it a neighborhood. Well, I'll tell you what, when I worked with this project with the granddaughters, they decided they wanted other names. They didn't come up with neighborhood. So I'm putting the grass in right now, the bottom of your box. Suggest about this size. This is a box that vegetables came in. You can vegetables from the store, you bring them home. I just kind of like that size. Well, I'm going to put some Scotch tape here on the bottom of the grass. Remember, the green grass grew all around, and the green grass grew all around. So here we go, Scotch tape. How about 4 pieces, 1 on each corner? 1 is there, here's number 2. You know how to roll the tape? Rolling tape is something you really want to practice and do. You just take your little strip of tape and turn it halfway in, and then bring the other side in. And then tape it right on top, and look at that. Now it's sticky on both sides. So you can put it down, and then it'll be ready for another place to go. Let's try it together. Take your tape, not too much. You don't want it to roll all off, no. There we go. Now, bring in half of this side and bring the other side in. Oh, there they meet. Sticky, sticky. And then you put it down here, and okay, we have 4 sides, 4 pieces of that tape. Now here comes the box. Once it's the green grass, I'm going to put my green grass in, fit it in there as best you can. Oh, it's fitting nicely this morning. Now I'm going to go to the other side and fit it in. Now I have the green grass growing. How about that? Doesn't have snow on it. It's green grass growing. Well, we better make some city streets so we can get to the housing project here. Here's one of our black strips. Tape again. I'm just going to use tape. Go like this. Make it sticky on both sides. And put it down. There we go. 1. I hope you can use Scotch tape like this, but you know what? It will work for you to use your glue too. In fact, on the next strip, I'm going to use the glue. So where should I put my city street? It's your decision. You get to make these decisions. Children had a lot of good ideas when I watched them make city streets. Okay, I'm just going to put mine right here. How about that? 1 street's down. Now, you also could use some smaller rectangles, and I have some here. So I'm just going to use one of those. And I promised you that I would use my glue stick. So let's open the glue stick. Yeah, there it is. Okay, put a little glue stick on the end of this little smaller rectangle. And a little bit on the other end. Now, that kind of looks like snow. I guess we have to start thinking about snow. We could have some soon. Okay, here we go. We're going to connect these 2 sides. I think that will do it. Hey, I've got some glue here on my finger. Better get rid of that. Don't want it to get all messy. Okay, I think I'm going to make the other short street again on the other side. And I liked using that glue stick. I'm going to take that glue stick again. Here we go. Let's see if you can see this a little bit. Oh, look at that. You can see the streets. Here we go. Glue stick here. And glue stick over on this side. That really works slick, I'll tell you. And now we're going to connect it. Here we go. We have our connecting street. It's a short one. Aha, you can see that now, can't you? And let's go on here and make a longer strip. This will be the longer strip, the longer street. And I'm just going to use that glue stick. I think some of you will be using your glue sticks. Some of you will be using Scotch tape. You can use both. We found that out. Okay, children, here comes this street. And you know, you can name your streets too. Yes, you can. You can name them even after your own family. If your last name is Brown, one street could be Brown Street. Oh, one street could be Black Street. There we go. These are the streets. Well, we said we need yellow dividers, so everybody doesn't run into each other. I'm definitely going to use glue stick, just a little bit on each end. Don't need too much. A little dab will do it, huh? A little dab will do it. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to put my dividing line right in the middle here so traffic knows to stay over on each side. How about that? Have another strip here. I'm going to do that on the other side, just like the other one. And we will be getting to our houses once we have our city block here. Yes, you know, if you were going to build a house, unless you're building it in the country, even then you need some roads. Okay, here we go. How about that? You can see that. See how easy that is? Now I do have the scissors. I'm going to snip. Make this other side, the yellow, not as long. In fact, I'm going to cut that right in half. That works pretty slick. A little bit of glue and a little bit of glue. Okay, well, I hope this is going well for you. You know, we do still have some supplies here for building the Tube City here at the library. If you do not have your supplies, some of you might have the supplies because you didn't get to use them before, but if you want to check if we have any here, your mommy or daddy could even just drive up to the window and ask, do you have any supplies yet left over for the Tube City? You might just be lucky to get a box and everything, because I think there's some there yet, and I'll make sure we have a couple of them there in case you stop in, okay? All right, well, our streets are made here. Our green grass is growing. It's really growing. Now we're going to go ahead and make our first house. Now, what you have to do is have your piece of paper, which I have the blue here. I have a number 7 here because that's going to be, we're going to cut that area for the door. So you kind of wrap your piece of paper around your tube so it matches in the back here. And that looks pretty good, you know. It's a little bit longer, this one, than the tube. So what we're going to do is do a little snipping there. But let's go ahead and wrap what we do have, okay? I'm going to use Scotch tape for this. I am. And now this time you do not turn it around. No, you're not going to do that. You're just going to bring it around, you know, how we turned it so it was sticky on both sides. We're not going to do that. Just bring this tape and put it to connect the two sides. Whoa, it wants to slip. No, why are you slipping and sliding? All right, we're going to get it connected. And we have it connected. See? Very smooth. It looks nice. Bring another piece. Always be sure you only use as much as you have to. And then I think Mommy will be glad to let you use Scotch tape. If we waste Scotch tape, not a good idea. Have to just try to use only as much as you need. Okay, now I'm going to have to cut a little bit of this off because it's a little bit longer than we need. And it's really easy to cut it. Just snip it around here. Just take your time, go around in a circle. And before you know it, you have it snipped off. Now we certainly don't need this. This can be recycled. Little pieces, big pieces, It's always a good idea if your family can recycle. Well, here we have that number 7. Looks like a number 7. We're going to cut that to make our door, okay? So you take your scissors, just cut on top of that line. Snip, snip, snip. And then cut over. So you're cutting on the black line, and you're cutting through the tube too. And then you're gonna go, oh, let me get around there. That's just the tricky part, but you can do it. Take your time. And you also could ask mommy or daddy or grandma or grandpa to help you. Now the door is opening. Look at that, my door is opening. That is so cool. I have an open door. There it is. Okay, now we better work on some windows. How about that? Yes, now you can make whatever shape you want in your windows. If you want to see what shapes I have on my windows, I even have a circle window here, divided into 4 pieces. That's kind of fun to put that above your door. This one's a rectangular with squares. Here's a smaller one. Oh, look at here. Here's another bigger one and another smaller one. So you just kind of decide. I mean, you can even make a longer window. In fact, as I'm talking about it here, I think I am going to make a longer one. The other direction will still be a rectangle. All right, so I'm going to make mine a rectangle on top here. Okay, I made a line there. Then I'm going to make, we'll just call them ones on each side. There's one. And here's another one. How about that? Pretty cool, huh? And now we'll connect these 2 sides. I like how they can be connected. Okay, it's a rectangle. Now you think, oh, that doesn't look like it's done. No, it's not done. I'm going to make what we can call shutters. When I was growing up, houses really had shutters, just kind of for decorative purposes. So we're going to make shutters. Or you might even think, oh, those are the curtains inside the house. Yeah, they can be the curtains. Okay, it's kind of like a picture window, a big picture window. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I really like it. Well, then let's go over to this other side. And you know what? I'm just thinking, why not? I'm going to just make this shape on this other side too. Have another window that's a rectangle that's going to come across. Well, this time I made the line on top. Then this comes down. And then it's going to meet. And there we go. And this is like another picture window. And more shutters on this one too. Yes, I do like the shutter idea. Okay. So now I have 2 good sized windows. Hey, I'm really pleased with that. But you know what? I'm going to try another shape. And that will be another rectangle. So I'm going to start out with the 1. Pretty big one. Comes over like this and like this. And then it has to meet. Oh, it did meet. How about that? So it's kind of an upside down picture window. I'm going to make some smaller square windows in here. I guess maybe like this. How about that? They're going to be rather cute windows. And like that. I really do need to give this window a shutter too. A shutter, yeah. Or we could call it a curtain on the side. We wanted to kind of have the same style as far as the design for this, okay? Now, how about that? Starting to look more like a house, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so I've made 1, 2, 3 windows. You can make as many as you want. Now, we have a door. We have 3 windows. So we're going to have a roof. Boy, we have to keep out the snow and the rain. I have 3 different patterns for my roof. What color should I choose? You know, actually, I'm going to go with gold. Gold and brown. I just think that is pretty sharp today. Yes, it is. So you just kind of fold that in half. Yes, you do. You fold it in half. Okay, so the square did look like this. You just fold it in half. And then it's going to sit on top of your house here. Yes, it's going to look really sharp. So we're going to have to give it a little Scotch tape so it stays there. Now this is where I think if you double it up, it's a good idea. Once again, bring this in and this in and put it on the inside here. And let's do another one while we're at it because it's going to go on the other side of this folded roof. 1, 2. So you have 2 pieces of Scotch tape and 1 on each side. And then you just kind of place it so it's above the door there. And your tape is going to hold it. And then your other side, bring it over. And it's going to very nicely just be on this side. Yes. There is your roof. Cool. Now you're going to find a place for it in town. You're going to think, where do I want my house? How about right there? Now the other thing that we want to do, that everybody probably has a house number on their houses here in your town where you live. And in this town, we do. So you have to think, oh, what do I want my house number to be? You don't want to have 10 numbers. No. Over here, I have 3 numbers or 4. Look at the numbers I chose for this house. I have 1, 3, 4, 5. I kind of think that's kind of cool. Now for the other one, I chose the numbers 1, 3, 4, 0 because they were on the same block. And houses have numbers that are similar when they're on the same block. But you know what? I think I'm going to make this one 8, 5, 5. So I'm going to make a number 8 up here. Then number 5. And then, oh, there you see, 8, 5, and another 5. So you can choose whatever numbers you want for your house number. I have 8, 5, 5. Kind of a cool number. So it's just sitting here. Whoa, don't want you to fall over. The wind's not blowing. Yep, there he goes. My house has found a place on the block. How cool is that? Now, there's another way that you can use your tubes and make a shape. And that is so that your shape looks like this. It's rounded. Now you might think, what do I want to make? Do I want to make a school like that? Maybe a store? How about a library? I think today I am going to make a library. So what happens with that style of building, you have a tube, but you're going to cut it so that it has a different shape to it. And I'm going to show you one that's been cut. And then we'll cut one together, okay? This one here has been cut. You cut the bottom out is what you do. And then when it sets, look at that. It just sets as a round building like that. I think that's pretty cool. So you have to take your tube, decide where you want to start cutting it on the bottom. And the ones I have here for the children, I have 2 little marks. 1, 2. You might want to do that with your tube. You just go ahead and space it out about 1 inch. 1, and then over here, 2. 2 little lines. And then you're going to cut up on those lines. So this one here is already marked. So I'm going to start here. Here's my tube. I have to cut all the way to the end. Now, if you ever need any help, just ask for help there at home, because the cutting of this is maybe just a little stiff. Oh, I got through. See, I'm not done though. It's still part of the tube. So I go to the other side and I snip. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have another piece of paper for recycling. Yes, we do. And here is our tube like this. We'll put this other one over here, okay? So I'm just going to have this special library be right here. And we need to take a piece of paper for that. And if you do pick up your paper from here at the library, I have a little white paper that will be used for yes. I see what we have here. But I really want it to be like this. So actually, it's a little bit longer than we need, but that's okay. Let's see if it comes around okay. Yes, it does. So we're going to have to wrap this paper around the tube. And what we're going to do is just put some Scotch tape to hold it. Okay. Once again, here comes the Scotch tape. Now remember, you can make this style of building be anything you want in your town. What else could you have that a town has? Besides a school, besides a library. Boy, people have been buying a lot of groceries these days. I think you really, really need a grocery store. Yes, you do. You do need a grocery store. So this comes around, but we're going to have a library. Libraries are wonderful places where you can go and check out children's books. And Mommy can check out books, and Daddy, Grandma and Grandpa. Not just books, huh? We have other things in our library to check out. We have magazines. Yes. We have DVDs, movies for you to check out. And you can even come in the library, and mommies can use computers here. So we have just a lot for you. We love to see you come to the library, and this is going to be a library. How about that? All right. Now, I'm going to have to snip because it's a little bit wider than it needed to be. So I'm just going to cut again and snip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Another piece of paper that can be recycled. Okay, so there we go. Now, we do have a door over here, and I think we're just going to go ahead and cut our door and see what style of door we're going to have. Just cut on the lines, or you can make your own door. Yes, you can. Always need a door. This can be a bigger door because it's going to be for the library. All right. Okay. And we're going to cut the other side. It's a different style than what we had before. Okay. That's it. And we're going to open it. Open the doors of the library. At the end of the day, you can close it. Okay, now we're going to set it here. It's a community library right there. in the center of the town, in the center of your neighborhood. So we need to give some windows to this library too. The room I'm in right now has 3 windows. Dear me, 3 windows. Let's give it 3 windows, okay? One window on that side. 2 windows. And 3, just like the room that I'm in right now. Isn't that cool? Okay, we've got 3 windows. Yes, that's our library. And we can give our library a number 2 because we get mail. Okay, let's just number our library 1, 2, 3, okay? 1, 2, and 3. It's a 1, 2, 3 library with 3 windows. Hey, how about that? That goes together really well. Now, this style of building, you do not need to have the roof like your house. No, it doesn't need that. You could add something on the top if you want. You could. I have one here that my granddaughter made. She put a little top on it. This was the school. So you can do your own design, your very, very own design. Now, I did suggest that we kind of hold the building together a little bit with some black pieces, because otherwise it might lose its shape eventually. So all we're going to do is take one of our black strips here, kind of snip it here. And let's see if we can just give it a little style here. Yeah, I think we can. We're going to tape it to one side. This one's going to be taped right here to hold it nicely. Need another little piece of tape. It just is to hold it, the shape a little better, okay? This piece is there, and then on the other side, you also want to put a little strip to hold that side together. It's just adds some style to your building too. Yes, it does. And I'm going to put it like this. Need a little more tape to hold it because it's a special building. And you might be making a grocery store, and you can add that special touch to your grocery store. Let's do one for the other side too. Or let's see what else. You could be making a building, could be part of a college. Yes, it could be. It could be a dorm in a college where college students live. This time it's just kind of covering a little bit of this side, but that's just fine. And you know, you could always put your strip on around to give it style before you do your windows if you want. But see how it's holding it together then? I feel so much better about it. It's going to last a long time as you play with your town. Now you could bring some of your little Lego people in to your town. If you have little tiny cars, you could bring them, or some of those little ponies. It could be your town for little animal town or for your people town with Legos. And of course, here's another building that we could be making. We have another tube here. We would remember how we did that then. We just wrapped it around. Well, let's just quickly make another building, okay? Make another house. Wrap that piece of paper around your tube. Have it come together. When you make your second one, it's not going to take as long as the first one because you know what you're doing, right? Here we go. It's coming together very nicely. Okay, it's another blue house, but you know, you might have paper to make a white house, just like we made our library white. Or you might have red or yellow. Whatever color house you want, you can have that. Now we're going to open up the door on our house with a few snips. This turnaround one is the hard one, and that's where you might need help. Okay, it's working for us. How about that? Okay, the door is there. Now, remember the window shapes? Whatever window shapes you want, you can have. I think I'm going to try a circle. I know children like to make the circle windows. Hey, it's working well. There it is. Yes, and I'm going to divide it into 4 pieces. Hey, that could be big pieces of pizza, huh? 4 of them? That's pretty big, but these are our windows. Cute little windows. Well, let's just have a square window on this side. You need 4 sides then. Look at that. Made a square. And I'm also going to divide it into 4 sections. Do the same for the other side. Another square. Hey, I like how that worked. And divide that into 4 sides. Okay, so we ended up different shapes with this one. We used rectangles for our first house. Now we used a circle shape and square shapes. Well, I'll tell you what, remember what comes next? Need a roof to keep everybody dry. And I have a piece of blue, kind of bluish green paper. Fold it in half. Very nicely. And we're going to practice our Scotch tape again. Just a little bit, not too much. Divide it in half, 1, 2, and put that inside here. Because you want your blue to show, you don't want to put it on the colored side. Now actually this was wallpaper. I don't know if Mommy could ever get a hold of that, but any kind of construction paper will work. So here we go. We're going to put our roof on this house. Oh, I like this one. And you want to be showing your windows. Like the window shows there. The roof's not covering the windows. And here comes the other side. And it's really holding nicely. Wowee. So we ended up making 3 buildings in our tube town. And let's just call this, oh man, Mini Town could be a name for it. But I think this is our neighborhood, okay? This is our neighborhood. Well, children, thank you so much for joining us. Here we go. I hope you've been able to follow along with the project. It's been right in front of you here. And we're so happy you joined us here at the Seward Memorial Library. We hope you can come into our library. We have so many great books. And right now we're thinking about Halloween. You can check out Halloween books. Christmas is coming. You can check out Christmas books. Okay, I'm going to say bye-bye for now.